Good morning. Hello. Hi guys. We're doing a 30-minute mobility session this morning. So you just need a mat. You can even maybe do this from bed if you're still feeling really lazy, but won't be doing anything too strenuous. All going to be very low impact and dynamic movements, trying to increase range of motion through all of your major joints. And in doing a lot of mobilization and moving through full range of motion in your joints, you actually improve that natural lubrication in the joint, which will help it stay more mobile in the long term. So the more you stay still, the more stiff you will become over time, versus the more you mobilize, the more agile and the more movement you will have in your joints over time. So very, very important here to be doing mobility work. So we're going to actually start laying down on our back this morning. We're going to do it a little bit backwards or in reverse of what we normally do. So going to start laying on our back with your knees bent, feet are flat on the mat, pressing your low back down into the mat, resting your arms on either side of your body, and just taking a couple moments here to take a couple deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bringing your hands together over top of your chest and stretching them out towards the ceiling. And opening up your arms out to either side. Bringing your feet and knees together. Let your knees drop over to one side, both knees. And taking your arm, you're going to reach it across and back open. Keep doing that here, bringing your hands together and back open. And holding. Try to gaze the opposite direction from which way your knees have folded over. Bringing your feet back through the center, bringing both knees in towards your chest, giving a gentle little hug here. Rolling out your low back, side to side, front to back. And now dropping your knees over to the opposite side. Opening up those arms. Bringing your hands together and open. Together, open, together, and holding here. Knees are still over to one side, arms are stretched out in the shape of like a T, gazing towards the arm opposite to the direction that your knees are. Coming back into the center, hugging both knees again in towards your chest, gently rolling your low back. Bringing your feet down onto the mat, taking one knee in towards your chest, pulling it in. Grabbing on behind that hamstring, slowly straighten the leg and bend. Straighten one last time and bend, bringing that leg across over top of your knee, pressing your knee down and away from you, reaching through, grabbing onto the opposite leg and pulling it in towards you, and just hold here. Making sure that that opposite knee is pressing down and away from your body. Holding here for just another couple of breaths. And lower those feet down towards the mat, uncrossing your legs. And let your knees just drop side to side for a moment. Bringing your opposite leg in towards your chest, hugging it in really close, as close to your chest as you can. Grabbing on behind that hamstring, and we're going to straighten and bend. Very slowly here. Don't force your knee straight if it doesn't want to go there. It doesn't have to be fully extended. It can still be bent at the top. And one last time, straighten and bend. Crossing that foot over, pressing your knee down and away from you, reaching through, grabbing onto the opposite leg and pulling it in. Holding here. Make sure you're breathing, don't hold your breath. Press your knee down and away from you as you pull that leg in towards your chest. And release, bringing both feet back onto the mat. And again, just letting your knees fall side to side. Coming into a straight body position, I'm just shifting up my mat a little bit. So now your legs are fully extended out and away from you. We're going to hug one knee in towards the chest, grabbing onto it with an opposite arm and twisting it over to one side. Bring it back to center and release. Opposite leg, bring that knee into your chest, holding it with an opposite hand, bringing the other arm out to the side, twisting across your body, pausing here for only a moment, coming back in to hug your knee and release. We're going to continue that alternating sides, just adding a gentle twist through the spine, through the low back, through that sciatic region, down the side of your hip. But don't hold it here too long. Just take a gentle pause. Come back to the center and release. One more time on each leg. Last time here on this leg. And release. Give your legs a little shake. And we're going to come up into a seated position. So sitting now on your mat with your legs bent 90 degrees at the knee, gently resting your heels on the ground. Feet should be just wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to just let our knees windshield wiper gently side to side, making sure that you're not lifting up either one of your hips from the mat. Make sure you're still breathing here, guys. And coming into a 90-90 position. So both legs are bent 90 degrees. One of those legs is in line with the front of your mat and the other shin is in line with the perpendicular side of the mat. So 90 degrees in both legs. Just take a moment here to settle. Try to sit up really straight, pressing that back hip down into the mat. And taking your body, folding it forwards, bringing your elbows down if you're able to. Coming back up to the center, stretching your arms out in front. You're going to lean forwards and then press your hip down in the back. Lean forwards and press. Forwards and press. So each time you lean back, you want to think about that back hip, pressing it down into the mat so that you're fully sitting on that back butt cheek and without letting your front knee pop up too much, okay? Last time here, reaching as far forwards as you can and pressing that back hip down. So you really feel that external rotation of that back leg here. Beautiful. Windshield wiper your knees over to the other side now, but I'm just going to turn around so you guys can still see. So 90 degrees in both legs now with the opposite leg in front. Taking a moment to sit up tall, get yourself situated, pressing that back hip down into the mat. And leaning forwards, bringing your elbows down if you're able to. Coming back up to the center, stretching your arms out in front, reaching forwards and pressing back. Forwards and back. Really lean over that front leg, reaching as far forwards as you can, hinging from the waist, thinking about bringing your belly button close to the leg. And last time here, reach, 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 and press that back hip down, feeling that external rotation in that back leg. Coming back to the center now, and windshield wipering your knees side to side again. So now you should notice that your knees are probably able to go much lower than when we first did it. And give your legs a little shake out here. Beautiful. We're going to come up now to a standing position. So standing up on your mat towards the back of your mat. And stretching your arms straight up overhead. Soft bend in your knees. Looking up to the ceiling. Taking a deep breath in. And exhale, folding forwards at the waist, reaching out away from you. So you're hinging at the waist like a piece of paper, folding in half. Come back up to standing. Soft bend in the knees again, folding forwards from the waist. And fully fold forward. Grab on to opposite elbows here and gently rock side to side. Rolling up to the top. I'm going to do that one more time. Stretching your arms up overhead, hinging from the waist, and fold forward. Walking your hands out to a plank position and stepping one leg forward so that it is beside your hands. Placing that back knee down onto the mat. So you're kind of in an off-centered lunge. And just lean into that front leg. Bringing your elbows down onto the mat if you are able to. Coming back up onto your hands, placing your hand on the inside of that front leg and pressing it open and back to the center. Open and back to the center. That's it. Turning your toe under in the back, lifting your knee up off of the mat. So you're in that nice high lunge position again. Stepping your foot back to the back of your mat, pressing your tailbone to the ceiling. Coming back to plank. Stepping forwards now with the opposite leg, It should be right up beside those hands. Bringing your knee down onto the mat, coming up and really leaning into that off-centered lunge. Bringing your hand onto the inside of that knee, pressing it open and back to the center. Open and back to the center. Open. One more time here. Holding this, holding. Try to drop down onto your elbows if you are able to. Coming back up to your hands, turning your toe under in the back, straightening that leg, bringing your feet back together at the back of the mat, slowly lowering down onto your stomach, keeping your hands directly underneath your shoulders, elbows are squeezed to the side of your body, and we're going to press our chest up and lower. And lower, looking up to the ceiling each time. Last time here. Lifting your tailbone up and sitting all the way back. Keep those arms stretched out in front of you. Walking your hands back up to the top, turning those toes under and coming to a deep squatted position. So from here, keeping your hands on the mat, we're going to slowly straighten our legs and then bend them back to where we are right now. So we're going to straighten and bend back down very slowly, and only allow your knees to go as straight as they would like. Don't force them to go anywhere that they don't want. And last time, holding. Slowly rolling up until you are in a standing position again. Coming now to the center of our mat, we're going to go into a nice wide stance. So feet are quite wide, toes are just turned out slightly. You're going to stretch your arms out to the side and reaching over, back to the center, and the other direction. Back to the center. Go side to side here one more time. Bringing both arms overhead, reaching over to one side, and then turn and fold forward with a straight back. Swoop around the front to the opposite leg. Turning to the side. and back up. Bringing your arms out to the side, folding forwards from the waist. Dropping those hands down onto the mat. Bend your knees and straighten. Bend and straighten. Rolling up to the top of the mat. One more time, both arms up overhead. Now leaning over to the opposite side to start. Folding. Swooping around the front. Turning sideways again. And back up to center. Hinging forwards from the waist. Holding here. And drop those arms and head down. Let your knees just loosen up. Gently kind of sway side to side in those legs. And coming down onto your mat into a kneeling position. We're going to take our arms out to the side, bending our elbows into a 90-degree bend, rotating your arms down, up, and squeeze together, rounding out through the upper back. Open again, go even more wide. So you should be really opening up the chest here. Coming back to the center, rotate down, back up, squeeze, rounding out the lower back, coming back to neutral. One more time. Open, neutral, rotate down and up, and squeeze together, bringing your arms back down. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Bringing your head over to one side, rolling it around to the other. And come back to center. Closing your eyes here for just a moment. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Last breath. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of today's mobility class. Thank you so much for everyone who joined and stuck around. We did a lot of low body focus today. Last Friday, we did quite a lot of upper body focus, especially for tension from like sitting at a desk or at a laptop all day. Thanks, Shell. So anyways, hopefully you're feeling a little more limber. I was feeling really stiff myself. We did a lot of really hard classes this week. So don't forget, check out the link in my bio. Our Strong and Healthy at Home program starts on Monday. It includes 2 live classes a week that are recorded as they happen and sent out to you after, so you can repeat them anytime you want, plus 4 additional strength training workouts, as well as 21 running or cardio-based workouts, and they're for 4 different levels: walkers, beginner, intermediate, and more advanced. So there's really something for everyone. Plus we're having weekly Facebook Live Q&As and nutrition tips, recipes, all sorts of things. So check it out, link in my bio. Hit me up if you have any questions at all. You're welcome, Brandy, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this morning. I know it's tough to get out of bed for sure. I feel you. I'm not a morning person, so 8 o'clock seems early for me too sometimes. So thank you for being here. And any questions at all, just feel free to shoot me a message anytime. But I'll see you guys at least here on IG live on Monday. I do another mobility class on Mondays at 12:30. So hopefully I'll see you then, okay? Have a great day.